Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is DocStar TV. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf, and today is, let me just show you here. Okay, all right. What's up, Doc? Live Q&A with Dr. Daryl Wolf. Oh, that would be me. Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ask your questions on Facebook, okay, or TikTok, or Instagram. No, not Instagram. Nope. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Doc of Detox on Telegram, or Twitter, otherwise known as X, and also YouTube. Now, look at all of those platforms. You can ask me questions, so just come on and ask them. I will be as honest as I possibly can, truthful as I can, which is, I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? Nothing matters more than truth and authenticity. Nothing matters more. I'm telling you right now, you need to find a tribe. You need to find people that believe in being authentic and truthful. And that means that you have to break away from almost every system out there. Every system that was ever created by the government itself, the medical system itself. The doctors are not liars. They do the best they can. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. Do you know how many people call me up every day and they are totally upset with the medical system? Now, there's probably some people that are upset with me, but the only thing I do is deal with nature, okay? The nature of things, okay? I only deal with proper detox and balance and nutrition. But people will actually go to a medical doctor and they'll be upset because the doctor doesn't help them with their health. Now, whoever said that the medical system was in healthcare? They're not in healthcare, they're in emergency care. Has anybody noticed how the fear-mongering in the media with the government and with the medical system, because they're all just one same group. You might think I'm putting them down, but I'm not. The medical system actually saved my daughter's life. She was in an accident. It was a car accident. And if it wasn't for them, she wouldn't be alive today. But that only comes to be about 2% of healthcare. Whether you believe it or not, the other 98% is up to you. See, you thought I was going to say me. No, it's not. It's up to you. My job is not to treat you, is to train you. But I will treat you, and I'll give you a money-back guarantee on all our treatments. How's that? Every first treatment you come to me, if we don't wow you, go past your expectations, you don't pay us. And that's whether it's me or any of the Wolf non-surgical therapists, whole life coach, nutritionalists that I've trained around the world. I'll back up everything I do. But understand this. If you're not willing to learn how to become your own practitioner, then guess what? You are going to have one bumpy ride, so you better buckle up. And it's not because people are evil. It's because there's some really bad belief systems out there. It's amazing, if I can say this, how many people will actually opt if they have the big C thing, stage 4 inflammation, right? Cancer. They call it cancer. I call it stage 4 inflammation. Why do they call it cancer? Because cancer means a death sentence. Why do I call it stage 4 inflammation? Because we can turn that around. You can turn it around, You can turn around stage 4 inflammation. Are you willing to change your personality, take massive personal action? That's the deal. But let me ask you a question. Are human beings easy to program? Oh, are they ever? Would you ever go to an accountant that said that they have a 2.3 success at actually getting your budget right or helping you to make money? Would you go to a mechanic that said there's only a 2.3% success that we're actually going to be able to fix your car? How would you like that? Well, guess what? I'm not putting it down. Make your own decisions. But that, chemo has a 2.3 success after 5 years. Did you know that? That's only 2.3% of the people are alive after 5 years. I don't believe any of this stuff about kill cancer, fight the fight. How about love yourself well? How about raising your vibration so high that cancer can't live in there? How about this? How about, guys, you want to know something? I'm going to do more of a one-a-day on this, but I need you to understand something. If people didn't get cancer, they wouldn't be still alive. If it wasn't for the cancer, they wouldn't be alive, and I will prove that. I'll do a one-a-day, and I'll do that tomorrow. I just want to keep that part separate. You do know that every day I get phone calls, right? Every day I get phone calls of people that are pissed off with their medical doctor, pissed off with the medical system. And I go, what are you doing? You know? That's like being angry, okay? Because a snake bit you, but you lay down in bed with it. And I'm not calling the medical system a snake. I'm trying to tell you that the medical system's not into healthcare. What are they into? Drugs, chemo, radiation, surgery. Okay, that's it. And telling you that the body no longer heals itself. Telling you that you could never understand what real health is. Well, they make that really proven because they come up with all these big words that mean nothing. You know, all the illnesses come from the Greek language. Who speaks Greek? Okay, seriously? Do you know why they speak Greek to you and why it's fibromyalgia, why it's arthritis? Because if you would have looked up the definition of arthritis, it's just inflammation of the joint. If you really knew about cancer, you know that it's a depletion of 35% of oxygen for more than 3 days that causes the cell to mutate into something else, and that would be a sugar-eating lactic acid cell because it didn't want to die. And there was lots of that there, so it decided that instead of dying, it wanted to survive. So understand this, you know, right now, it's all about oxygen, and the best way to cut off your oxygen is having an anxiety attack. The best way to cut off of oxygen is to do drugs, whether they're over the counter or under the counter. Yes or no? Drugs are highly acidic, so am I right or wrong? The best way to end up with cancer is to eat processed foods. The best way to have cancer is to not think about anything except just the first 4 inches and will it fit into your mouth. And the best way to get cancer is to have anxiety and fear, false evidence appearing real. And understand something. Cancer is based on the emotions of mainly what? Mainly what? Hate first, anger second. And I'm not talking about somebody hating the world or hating their family. They might hate themselves. They hate what happened to them when they were younger. If you can't change your story, you become your story. If you tell a war story all the time, then you're in war all the time. You know, it's hard to even talk to people today, and everybody's childhood was hell. That's all anybody wants to talk about. Oh, my child was worse than yours. Mine was worse than yours. You know, if we don't base things on unconditional love and care for ourselves and getting to the point that we don't have to forgive anybody, and if you're around somebody that you have to forgive all the time, then don't be around them. That person's not changing. You know, and the reality is this, think about this. I never have to forgive anyone because I'm never going to judge anyone. Because if I judge someone harshly or negatively, then I take the poison pill, don't I? So I'm not going to do it. So even if my kids call me and go, you know, I'm really, really sorry, and I said, don't apologize. Just learn from it. Because I don't want you to feel like you got to say sorry for things, because that means you're suffering for it. And you are. You are. What if you can't say sorry to somebody because they're so angry at you, right? And the reality is people are going to be angry at you, and sometimes they have no reason. We need to mind our own business and mind our own care and mind our own loving ourselves. Be thankful. Fill up your heart with love with yourself. Let me get back to the big C. So the reality is this, is that they'll use radiation, which means they'll burn the cancer, but they burn your skin. And did you actually get the cancer because of lack of radiation? Did you get the cancer because of lack of mustard gas? Because that's what chemo is. It's a form of mustard gas. I'm not telling you not to do it, but did you ever look it up and find out the chemistry behind it? Did you ever ask a whole bunch of people that have gone through it and how well they've done and what the actual stats are, like 2.3 of the population is still alive after 5 years of doing chemo. I didn't make that up. Those are stats. So the other day I get a call from a woman overseas. And this happens here in the United States, Canada, or anywhere else. She's a friend of hers. And she goes, Dr. Wolf, I need your help. And it's kind of funny, you know. But fearful people don't make really good decisions. So this lady has a 10-year-old daughter. The daughter has lymphoma. Now, you don't get lymphoma, which is a blockage in your lymph system, unless this little girl was born constipated. She was probably constipated before she even came out, even as a fetus. I'm serious. What if the mother is unwilling to let go of her emotional SHIT? Then she'd be unwilling to let go of her physical SHIT. So that gets passed on. Everything is vibrational. And understand something. Find me a child that doesn't have a bowel problem, and I'll say that's like trying to look for a unicorn. Because take a look at what parents feed their kids. They're always on the tear because they're fearful. They're always trying to chase the dollar. Okay? You know, we are no longer, okay, amazing creators. We were amazing creators, okay, up until the Rockefellers created their medical mafia. Because they realized the power of media, the power of repetition, that you could say the most dumbest thing in the world, but if you repeated it long enough and strong enough, you can find people all the time that will be watching TV and it's a commercial. And the commercial will come on about a drug, and the drug will be like about 3 to 5 minutes of telling you how it's going to kill you. And then it's only going to do one thing, get rid of a symptom. And people will go to get rid of that symptom, and they didn't even hear the rest. So the reality is you can program human beings to become human doings. And that's the majority of the population. The majority of the population, I've stated before, does not rule the world. They are ruled, schooled and fooled. Now this lady, when she found out her daughter had lymphoma, she didn't want to go to the medical system, but she went anyway. The reality is this. You really have to connect to your breath. The more traumatic, dramatic the situation is in your life, the more you need to just sit there and breathe until you calm down. 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Put a slight smile on your face, no matter how terrorizing, how dramatizing this situation is. You need to calm down and stay in the moment. Unless you're in the moment, you'll never make the right decision. You'll always make the wrong decision. If a person comes to me, do I try to scare them into buying my products, scare them into taking my courses to learn how to manage their life? Do I try to do that? If I even did that once, I would be so attacked, okay, as the quack scumbag. That would just happen just overnight. Anybody don't see the game? You know, long as it's government approved, which government approved just means that the psychos out there that run the planet, who created the government, who own the government, who are the government, okay? They create everything. They strategized everything. You know, wouldn't it be great as a human being, we actually strategized on how to have the perfect day for ourselves in a loving, caring way? And we did that long enough and strong enough that it didn't matter if we were tired. We weren't going to make dumbass decisions. It didn't matter if someone went, we just went, no, I won't react and attack myself, and I won't freak out just because you're trying to freak me out. I dealt with a situation today. It was pretty crazy. Okay, I'm in Mexico, and I love it here. And I was dealing with a situation where somebody didn't want to take responsibility for something. So they kept trying to distract me, disrupt me, to keep me off of the point. And so I stayed to the point, and when I left the meeting with the notaries, they made a check out for the complete amount that they messed up. But it was like they had their whole strategy planned on how they were going to strategize and keep my money after making a huge mistake. So understand something. He who strategizes and stays calm wins the day. When you don't know how to keep calm and that you're not the master of your emotions, you're going to make decisions that you're totally going to regret. So this lady, who's a friend of the lady with the child who's 12 years old, who has the lymphoma, the child's neck started to swell. And I said, when did the child's neck swell? I bet it swelled after they went to the medical doctors, and because the mother didn't want to do what they said. So I said, I bet it swelled after they went to the medical doctors and the parents talked in front of the 12-year-old. Oh my God, how'd you know? And I go, well, that's why the neck swelled up. You need to understand that anxiety and fear is the root cause of all disease. And you have to understand that humans were built in a way that they would remain fearful unless they did something that was extraordinary. And when I say this, don't take it as a pitch, because you don't have to do anything, spend anything, do anything with me. I'm still going to give you more information and as truthful as possible that I know. But the reality is if everybody took my whole life coach certification, they wouldn't make dumbass decisions, because when you are in a fearful state, you don't think. When you're in a fearful state, 70% of all your blood supply and energy goes to your arms and legs. And meanwhile, you might not be running, but you're running inside. And your brain shuts down because it is in survival mode. It's not in thriver mode. So just think how many parents, beautiful parents, can't make right decisions because they've been traumatized, dramatized by the medical system or by friends and family to just think they know better because they're all programmed. So I said, I would love to talk to this lady and just reassure her that she does not have to feel guilty or anything, because now what happened was, see, if I'm allowed to say this, I'm not telling you to do this. This is my personal life. These are my personal views, not as a health professional. These are my personal views. I would never, ever, 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 ever go to anywhere near the medical system if anybody in my family had stage 3 or 4 inflammation, which they call cancer. I can deal with it. I know how to deal with it. I didn't say cure it. I know how to deal with it. I don't know how to keep it away if that loved one that I care for doesn't know how to change their personality to change their reality. If they can't make different decisions and choices in their day, then I can't do anything. That's why it's so hard to change people. They have to be willing. And no, you don't learn your greatest lessons through suffering. You learn them through unconditional love and care for yourself. And that is the biggest BS I've ever heard. And that's what people say all the time. Oh my God, I learned so much through the suffering, so much through the cancer. Well, guess what? Wouldn't it have been great if you didn't have to go through all of that and you were just way ahead of the game, vibrating so high that it couldn't touch you? How about that? That's what I teach. This is not a sales pitch here today. I'm not looking for more business. I'm looking for the people that want it all. I'm looking for the lions that are waking up. I'm not looking for the people that are so scared and they're not worth any time or any money. Most people aren't worth time or money. They will do anything for their family. I'll die for you. Really? Really? You'll die for me? Seriously? Why don't you live for me? Why don't you live for me? Why don't you live for yourself? My God, you know what love is? Family love most of the time. Whoever is willing to die for everyone, whoever is willing to suffer for everyone is the one that is the monarchy of the family, right? So anyways, I guarantee you, I told her, I said, all she's got to do, have her go into my library and watch The Emotional Chemistry of Cancer, Disease, and Healing. It's a masterclass. It's the only really truthful research that's ever been done on cancer. And in this, it took me almost a year and a half to write this in a way that it could be laid out for everyone to understand it. And it's in my library. And then I told her, go watch How to Become #1 at the Art of Number 2. Go watch The Holy Grail, Your Large Intestine, okay, and the domino effect of normal living. And she will understand it all. She will have the 1 and 1 or 2. They are not 11, okay? So guess what? She's going all over the place. She's got a naturopathic doctor. She's got a natural hygienist. She's got the medical system. And guess what? I'm going to say this. And you know what? I want you to go into my library. I want you to download my guide. It's P is in perfect, D is in day, G is in guide. Perfect Day Guide. That's pdgfree.com. And tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me that I couldn't teach anybody, okay, an 8-year-old all the way to 108, how to go in and have the best life on an emotional, nutritional, okay, physical, financial level. Yes, I did say financial. I'm not a financial advisor, but just understand something. Most people are either good with their family, but not good with money. Some people are great with their work, but not good with their relationships. Some people are athletes, but they're not good with their relationships or money. You could be good with it all because everything comes down to the core beliefs that you have, and nobody's got really core beliefs unless they do something like a whole life coach certification. And that's the God's truth. Don't do my course, but go in and go to BHN University and look up the whole life coach certification, and then go find something out there similar or different, but that teaches that kind of thing, and find a mentor to get you to be able to go in and become the master of your emotions, and to go in just like any menu board and get rid of, just like a menu, get rid of the foods you would never eat because they're low vibrational, they're poisonous. How about getting rid of the beliefs that you should never use again, that you were given by going to a government school, okay, to be programmed into a robot? And then there are so many religions out there that cause so much guilt and suffering for life. Get rid of that as well. I'm not saying all of them, okay? And then guess what? Take a look at what your parents taught you and keep the beautiful things they taught you, enhance them, and thank them. And remember something, your parents have done everything they possibly could for you. Your teachers have done everything they could for you, because guess what? They're all limited though, weren't they? Because they all did not realize that they have belief systems that undermined themselves, and they thought the roof was here when the roof was unlimited. And that's the truth. I'm not pitching anything. You don't have to buy anything from me. Get my PDG free guide, pdgfree.com guide, and then go into my library, and I will have given you more health training, truthful training than you've got. I don't care if you went to naturopathic college. Go in there and do your homework. What are you worth? What is your family worth? What is real health worth? So I told this lady to tell her friend to actually go in and watch those videos in my library. And then I told her for herself and the wealth of herself, instead of spending her energy through fear, okay, and being drained and terrorized, to go in and do the Braveheart online emotional masterclass, which used to be $1,000 and it's free. All my masterclasses are free. There's over a dozen in there. I said, get her to see if she can calm down and do that. What will happen is the mother, by the time that this is all over, the mother will be so sick. If she's married right now, she could be divorced by the time this is over. It's funny how, you know, behind the curtains, everything's set up to destroy the family core. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. The whole system is rigged. So anyways, she's getting advice from all these different places. Did she take a look at stealth glucose? Stealth glucose on lymphoma, and then the daily cleansing tea, and the black gold, and the critical care thunder shrooms. And understand something, for somebody like her and this child, I would do the consult for free. I'd do it for free. I'm not looking for business. I'm looking for life. I'm looking for happiness. I'm looking for joy. I'm looking that my day is fulfilled with being the gift, being the blessing. Because I'm telling you, you may not get this, but that's the only reason why we're down here, is to see, do we have what it takes to become enlightened beings in a very toxic soup? Because these psychos are always going to be in control of the world. And I know there's people believing somebody's coming to save it and change it, and good luck, okay? Let's say if they come, I'm wrong, but until they come, could you be the hero of your own story? Could you do a Braveheart Heroes contract and write down all the things, if you totally loved yourself, cared for yourself, and if that which created the universe totally loved you and wanted to gift you, what would that look like? And could you maybe write a contract and then look at it every morning, every night for 33 days and maybe try to change your life here, or do the Braveheart Love Band, do the mirror work? So anyways, she doesn't know what to do. So understand something. Terrorizing the mother, terrorizing the father, terrorized the child, and that's why the child's neck blew up. That's why it blew up. Boom! Okay? What happens when you get terrorized? You blow up. You get a headache, you get pain, and then you're exhausted, right? As soon as the terrorizing is over, then you're just then you're sick. Because the longer you get terrorized, the more you're going to waste your energy. But did you ever notice something? When you're being terrorized, you don't feel anything, right? Because you're in fight or flight, you will not feel any pain, okay? All right? There's two defense systems. There's your immune system, which is the only defense system you should be using. And then there's your adrenals, right? And now the mother's using her adrenals, okay, as her defense system, because she's trying to run away from a paper tiger that doesn't exist. She can't calm herself down. So she's tapping on her adrenals, which means she's putting tons of cortisol into her body and adrenaline. And because children are like your pets, they pick up on your emotions. You don't have to say anything to them. So whatever the mother's going through, the daughter's going to go through too. And at this point, the daughter needs no more of this anxiety and stress. And the daughter can't let go of her own SHIT because the mother can't let go of her own SHIT. And there's a terrible bowel problem. And because the lymph system dumps into the large intestine, it's backed up. And if it backs up, it becomes a what? What came first, the swamp or the mosquito? Okay, so the mosquito is actually what they call the cancer, and there's no such thing as cancer. It's just inflammation. Infection is so great in there because of the stagnation and now putrefaction. And now we go to mutation. So now, just know this. You have a 12-year-old or younger and you go to the medical system and you talk the word cancer, you can think about me whatever you want today. But do you know how much money that child would bring in? Let me ask you a question. What do children get after they get chemo at a hospital? Do you know? Do you know what they get? What do they get? Cookies, donuts, and pop. So processed sugar spins to the right where natural sugars spin to the left. So natural sugars won't feed a cancer cell. Did you know that? That's why you can do carrot juice, and that's why you can eat fruit, and it's not going to feed cancer. But if you do a processed sugar, it has the right spin to it. It goes directly into the cancer cell. Oh, but they don't know this, right? They don't know this. All these beautiful nurses giving them the pop or the Kool-Aid. Okay, yeah, we all drank the Kool-Aid. Okay, give them the cookies, give them the donuts, okay? All right? So now the mother has done one round of chemo. And I said to the friend, I go, and guess what? Next thing you're going to tell me is the mother's regretting it. And Guess what? You can't do that. She signed a contract. She tries to pull away from the chemo, it's not going to go well for her. I'll tell you something. There's a family, this is a true story. And this was a year ago. And they called me. And they came down here. And they're still here. And their daughter had a certain situation. And they said, Dr. Wolf, my wife has a really great job at the hospital, and I'm a master postman, whatever that is, but we're giving it all up. We're coming down to Mexico. I said, why? Because, and you know the rest of the story, the daughter had a situation like this. So now, they're still here. So the reality is now, she's going to have to see this through. So right now, what we need to do is we need to pray and send love to the mother. Because if she's regretting this and there's side effects, which chemo has side effects, we can't have the mother destroy herself. The child can bounce back, but the mother might not be able to bounce back. So where am I going with this? Well, let's just stop guilting each other. Let's stop killing each other. Let's stop poisoning each other. Let's stop hating each other. That's where I'm going with this. I would never judge this mother. The most precious thing in the world to her. And you know what? Even the people that are in the healthcare field have been programmed to terrorize parents. Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. You know, the thing is the majority of the population never really wants to look at what's really going on because they can't process it properly. Because if they do, they get a headache, they'll get diarrhea, they'll get vomiting, they'll get a heart attack, stroke, who knows. The reality is most people don't want to know how to play this life-threatening, fun-filled adventure called Planet Earth, where as soon as you enter the room, somebody's trying to kill you. And the reality is here, I love my life, but you cannot love your life unless you are the master of your life and mind your own business. If you need approval from any outside authority, if you take things personal, and you'll never be able to love or care for yourself if you take things personal, because your family will object to it, even your friends, because they're not doing it. If they're not doing it and you're doing something different, they don't realize it, but the subconscious will always try to derail any beliefs that don't match it. So that's the thing. If we were to teach the majority of the population that their subconscious only protects the prominent dominant beliefs, even if they're killing you, and you better get that, but you won't get it because you know what? Everybody needs brainwash boot camp. By the third day, we've got brain gymnastics going on where the third day in our whole life coach course, people get it. They get it. And they go, whoa, whoa, I see it now. I see it. I said, well, the thing is and the big thing is they see it to the point that before, when they were trying to become something and they were hating what their family was doing because they felt they were impeding them, now they can love their family unconditionally, but do their own thing. Just because somebody's a family member doesn't mean they're going to buy into your belief system. And if you really want to win the game down here, then you better become a high vibrational, light energy, magnetic being. And we are magnetic beings. You can't get away from that because everything that you speak and think, you've gotten in your life. But the problem is that if we believe that you're unworthy or guilty of something, you're not going to get it because you don't deserve it. As long as you're going to be guilty of something, and you know, instead of learning, you're burning. Instead of observing, you're judging yourself and putting yourself into this invisible prison. And a lot of people, they don't even know they put themselves in prison, and then they're 90 years old and they're still dealing with stuff from their childhood because they didn't go in, erase and replace belief systems or bring their vibration up ever. They've been working off the same toxic Toxic tools. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we've got questions here. So I can take questions from TikTok, right? Twitter, which is X, YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble. Okay, everyone? So if you want it, bring them in, bring them in. If I don't have a lot of questions, I basically talked about what I really wanted to talk about today. And each time I come on Doc Talk, I will come on and do a talk like this and see if there's anything. But you can ask me anything you want. It doesn't have to be about the topic at hand, okay? All right? It's just that when it comes to children, what do you think, eh? What do you think? They're at the control of their parents' decision making, right? For good or for bad. And it won't be the physical thing to get rid of the physical thing this little girl's dealing with. It'll be the emotional trauma that'll probably stick with her for life. St. Petersburg, Florida. Hello. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Dama. Hi, Jacques. Hi, Carol. Tina. What do I do? Denise, what do I do and eat to not get cancer? Well, first of all, if you're very fearful of getting cancer, you'll probably that'll be the worst thing you're doing, okay? That's the worst thing. Whether you want to believe it or not, the invisible creates the physical, the psychological rules the biological. And Denise, I remember all your other questions and your vibe, and you're a very stressed out, anxious woman. And if you tell me you're not, you've been on here for a long time, and you are. I have skin cancers, but my family history is strong with different types of cancer. Okay. I want you to show me one real study where cancer is genetic. It's not, it's epigenetic. Okay, they did what was called the Genome Project, and it cost millions and millions of taxpayers' money, because it always will cost you taxpayers for everything. Okay, just like when you give money to the American Cancer Society, which was started, it was either 1911 or 1919, and I apologize for not having the correct date, but I am right about this. It was started by the Rockefellers, which actually are the guys that have the petroleum, that actually make the drugs out of the petroleum. Yeah, okay. Where do you think you're buying your chemo from? Thank you. Okay, so I have skin cancer, but my family history is strong with different types of cancer. It's not genetic, it's epigenetic, and that's the truth. You want to have strong things? Well, okay. So my father's brother died of prostate cancer. Okay. My mother's sister died of breast cancer. My mother didn't die, pass on. My apologies. My father passed on with leukemia. He got it twice. We got rid of it. Third time, couldn't do it. You can't keep doing the same things and expect a different result. And my mother, she passed on with tongue and lung cancer, okay? And I didn't know it, but when I was younger, she had ovarian cancer too, okay? So, all right. Now, cancer doesn't run in my family, habits do. Cancer doesn't run in my family, habits do. Thank you, okay? And the reality is we were created to create. And if you were created to create, and you think about how you could get cancer because it runs in the family, or you go and watch all these statistics, a person of 54 years old has this much chance of getting cancer. Understand, let me make this perfectly clear, Denise. Are you part of the majority? Are you part of the women that are 54 and the weight? So are you part of the majority? Do you think like the majority of women? Do you act like them? Do I act like the majority? No. Do I even act like the minority? No. Do I live a high vibrational life, and everywhere I go, I protect my vibration and I feed my vibration to make it higher, to make it more stronger? You talk to any of my staff, I guarantee you they all eat 3 meals a day and probably 3 snacks. I eat 1 meal a day. Yes, I do juices. I've got, let me see here. This morning, I already did, okay, 2.5 liters of structured electrolyte water, which means I put Ormus, Beyond Ormus minerals in it and Black Diamond. And then I've got this quart of juice. And I'll do another quart of this juice. And I'll probably, that's it. And then for supper, I don't know yet, but I only eat 1 meal a day. Meanwhile, I've got, and this is a fact, 3 to 4 times more energy than anybody that works with me. Okay, because eating is one of the lowest vibrational ways to get energy, because unconditional love is the highest form of energy, and that's actually proven. There's real science. Okay, and then anything that should be giving you lots of energy that's called food, real food, the more light it has inside of it, the higher the frequency is what's going to make the difference, because everything physical leaves the body. I mean, the liquid, the fiber, all of it leaves the body. Nothing physical stays. The only thing that stays, even with supplements or nutraceuticals, the only thing that stays is the vibration. If the vibration wasn't high in it, if it didn't have a lot of light packed into it, okay, if it didn't have a lot of life force, you're not going to have that life force. That's it. That's the rule. It's not really complicated. Okay? All right. It's going to get a little noisy here for a second. I'm 54, going to have a grandbaby soon, and I'm scared of getting this horrible cancer. So even if Denise doesn't get the cancer, she has the vibration of it and the stress of already having it. So the reality is, if she was just focusing on, and if she was doing things that were loving and caring for her body, and she did it long enough and strong enough, and every time that she even thought of the cancer thing, she goes, that's the old me. I need a drink of structured water with Ormus minerals. I need to do an ultimate coffee. I need to do a vaginal infusion. I need to go and take a cold shower here and bring myself back to the present moment, okay? Because I'm living in the future, and you cannot create anything good in the future if you're going to stay there. And you definitely can't if you're in the past, okay? Past, I'm worried about all the different ancestors that had cancer, okay? And I'm not going to throw myself into the future, okay? And now I'm going to worry about that and ruin the present moment, where the only place you can heal, the only place you can make a change in your life. So they don't want us in the present moment. They want to create all these wars. They want to create all this terrorism and all this stuff out there so that you're never here. You're not with your family. You're not in your heart, okay? You're in your mind, which is a landmine. I don't know what else to say to you, Denise, but just know this. Just know this, that I really do feel for you, because you're not living. You're not living if you're not thriving, and you can't thrive when you're fearful. That's impossible. I fear nothing. This doesn't mean I'm going to jump off the balcony right here and don't worry about hitting the ground. I didn't say that. I'm logical, and I don't fear death. I don't fear life. I don't fear authority. I don't fear cancer. I don't fear disease, because there are no diseases. They're just symptoms. Whether you believe this or not, cancer is just a symptom, okay, of actually hate and anger. And it's been going on forever until what do you think a tumor is? A tumor holds some of the most toxic emotions. And physically, it's holding toxins that if it did not grow in you, you wouldn't have made it, because it had to go somewhere and store it. But what happens if you don't wake up in time? You create an atomic bomb. Received my book today. Thank you. Lots of reading, Betty. So that is actually the perfect day guide. Let me see if I can find it. I'll leave it up for a minute so you can see. Okay? That's it, everyone. If you want to get it, you can get it free, or you can order it, and we'll ship it anywhere around the world for $75. We have a $6 markup on it. That's it. If you were to print this manual, okay, it's right here. This manual would cost you anywhere from $125 to $225, depending around the world where you print it, if you print it at this quality, okay? And we will send this to you for $75. That's shipping included, okay? All right. Where are we here? Tansley, I've tried several products from the Doc of Detox. Everything so far has all been outstanding. Thank you. I've never been disappointed with anything. Top quality, C60 and cleansing tea are probably my favorite so far. Me too. I look forward to trying more products in the future. Thank you for saying that. And I'm always going to try to do my best, give you the best products at the best price. So we were told 8 weeks ago that we're going to have to put our prices up 15 to 20% because of all the people that make our products, make the labels, bring the bottles. Everybody put their prices up. Did you know that? Everybody's taking advantage of the biggest taxation, which is called inflation. So everybody else is jumping on board. So what we did is we're going to close down our 3 fulfillment centers with ShipBob, and we're going to open up 1 fulfillment center that we run, that we own, because we're not putting the prices up on our products, and that's that. Okay? All right. I was going to guess lollipop. Not sure what that means. So true. Replying to Denise Brooks, there are so many natural things that can prevent cancer. I'm sure he has a myriad of things to suggest. Well, take a look at Critical Care Thunder Shrooms. Take a look at Stealth Glucose. There's nothing like Stealth Glucose in the world. This is actually a concentrated molecule of calcium ions wrapped in glucose. Do you know what that means? That's why it's called Stealth Glucose, because when you drink this, it actually, guess what? Because it is glucose coating. So take a look at a Smartie. A Smartie has chocolate in the middle and the candy coating on the outside. Well, the candy coating is the sugar. The chocolate is the concentrated calcium ions. Most people know about our Merigen. Merigen is the most phenomenal product, the only real true calcium ion product in the world, along with Cardigan, Dentagen, Dentagen for the jaws, Cardigan for the joints, Ozo Junior for young children, Alzagen for the brain. Okay, Merigen is for every one of the critical autoimmune diseases, but if you've got a really critical care case, you're going to use Stealth Glucose. You'll find all this information in my library. You'll also find it under calcium ion therapy. If you go to Doc of Detox, just click on it. They will not let me put the products, the calcium ion therapy, the Stealth Glucose, the Merigen, all these other products. I'm not allowed to put them on the store. You got to call in to get them. Does anybody know why? Because the FDA said they'd shut down my website. They can't stop us from selling it. Not one harmful side effect. And understand something. You go and watch the videos in my library in the calcium ion therapy guide and get ready to be blown away. Go take a look in my library and look in the Stealth Glucose guide and watch the video and find out the biggest breakthrough when it comes to stage 4 inflammation I've ever seen in the world, along with taking our Critical Care Thunder Shrooms. Please do your homework, that's all. Okay, so where was I? SEACT won't cut it today. Rife machine won't cut it. I was selling Rife equipment when I was 22 years old. Yeah, it won't cut it today. What does cut it? It's called Cellsonic Regeneration. Take a look on my website. Go to bhnpowerpack.com. Okay, that is the highest vibrational energy medicine on the planet. It can shut down stage inflammation with a pulse. But the reality, it won't stay shut down unless you're going to change your personality, to change your reality, what you eat, what you think, what you drink, what you speak. This is all what it's about. The invisible becomes the visible. Okay? Yes. She mentions a lot of other products. I used to carry them 30 years ago. I don't do them anymore. Most of them don't cut it anymore. You know, like even the chlorine dioxide, do you know how many people take that and they don't get the results they want? Do you know how many people eat apricot kernels and they don't get it? If you want to go back when this stuff really worked, you'd have to go back 30 years ago. It's not cutting it like it does today because they've introduced so many other different chemicals, heavy metals, okay, and poisons into the air, the water, and the food. What about deleting heavy metals from the body? First of all, I'm going to tell you something. If you take 3 products, if you took my Black Diamond, my Black Diamond is the only pure nanofulvic that's made. We make humic fulvic with no chemicals. We're the only company that does it. We can prove it. And our nanofulvic, it'll go into your brain, into your blood, into your cells. It will hold 300 to 400% of its weight in heavy metals, chemicals, GMOs, viruses. It will drop off 70 to 80 micro minerals and nutrients into the cells, into the blood, into the brain. And understand, I did say it'll hold 300 to 400% of its weight in chemicals and metals. You cannot do a heavy metal cleanse. Heavy metals are all around the planet, okay? Well, not all around. There are other places really bad, like United States, Canada, Australia, where they do chemtrails. They don't do chemtrails in Mexico, okay? They don't do chemtrails. They don't have herbicides, pesticides. They don't have GMOs. They don't have 5G. I could keep going, but it sounds like a sales pitch, but this is why I'm here. I'm here where I can still feel it's easy to love and be loved, okay? Where was I? So deleting heavy metals, getting rid of parasites, all you got to do is a daily protocol. So what I just told you to do, and if you also did curcumin cayenne 5000 and daily cleansing tea, and then black gold, you've looked after all the parasites, you looked after all the heavy metals, and then you just do a little bit every day. And guess what? You never build them up. Why is it that we use a medical model in the health industry still? A medical model is when it breaks, we fix it. The natural health industry, when I feel like crap, I'll do a cleanse. Why ever feel like crap? Why would you ever feel like you're constipated? Why would you ever wait until you have negative symptoms? Why would you do that? Because you're trained to do it. It's like people will call me and go, Dr. Wolf, is it okay for my pets? Is it okay for my children? All my stuff. All my stuff. How many people know that veterinarians aren't health practitioners? Really? You didn't know that? Seriously? They're not health practitioners. They're not health practitioners unless they're just using nature things to actually, unless they're using natural things, then they're not health practitioners. Okay? All right? Okay. Where was I? Okay, so just remember something. Go get the PDG free guide and go in there and take a look at our heavy metal cleanse, like I just talked about. Look at our parasite cleanse, and then you're going to find out that guess what? The same products that get you well, keep you well. So what if I had a 20-foot hole? I would build you a 20-foot ladder. But once we get you to the surface, what if I just had you doing a very little of these things every day? Well, wouldn't that be smart? But what do most of you do? You get sick, you go hardcore, and then you go right back to the way you were. So the old personality is going to create the same reality. That's why you have cancer the second time, third time. That's why now the other hip needs to be replaced. That's why you had to have surgery in the first place, because you didn't change your personality. Because if you change your personality, you change your choices. If you change your choices. Most people don't even have any choices because they've been programmed to knock themselves off. Especially if you don't do the cooking at home, you'll just eat whatever you get because you're starving. Everybody's starving. I'm not starving. I only eat one meal a day. Everybody's starving for unconditional love from themselves. Everybody's starving from unconditional care from themselves. That's what they're starving of, if you really want to know what they're starving of. I don't expect the world to wake up, because it never will. The majority of the world will not wake up because it's not their time to wake up. It's not because they're stupid. It's not their time. It's not their time. I don't want to go out there and try to change someone. I just want to go out there and ring the bell of courage and truth, and then those who are ready are ready. You know, I'm not disappointed when somebody says you're a quack. I'm not disappointed when somebody says it didn't work for me. Well, guess what? When the truth is known, they didn't work for themselves. Nature works. There's nothing special about me. Everybody, anybody can do what I'm doing. Anybody can learn what I do. I'm not anything special. I can teach an 8-year-old, well, definitely I can teach a 12-year-old to do everything that I do. Now, well, how does that make you feel? You're scared, aren't you? Well, guess what? You think that I need to go, or somebody needs to go to school for years? Look at all the years that medical doctors go. Look at a naturopathic doctor that's a naturopathic doctor go for an extra 4 years to become a naturopathic doctor. And guess what? My practitioners are looking after the people that fail with naturopathic doctors. And they come and take my course for the first time for only 22 days. You did get that, didn't you? So either I'm just some charlatan just wanting to make money, or guess what? The game's rigged. My God. The majority of the population doesn't believe that it can even help itself, heal itself. Oh my God is right. Oh my God. Oh my God. Get connected. Get connected to a higher power. And that would be self-healing. Do you have something geared for teenagers and self-love? My 14-year-old son is against us and our new lifestyle since we removed him from school in 2019. He won't be against you later. Just be compassionate with him. That was his social life. Whether you believe it or not, and please, I'm not going to say your name, but understand something. When he was born, you didn't know what self-love and self-care was. What if he was born and you and your husband or partner knew what total self-love and self-care was? That you had to unconditionally love yourself to love another human being properly. You wouldn't have this situation right now. But when he was born, and you can say, I don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. The reality was, we didn't realize that we needed to unconditionally love ourselves first and foremost, because we can't give unconditional love to others if we don't have it for ourselves. So you had conditional love for yourself and you had conditional love for your husband. You didn't even know it. There's nothing stupid about it. My God, we were all programmed there. All of us, all of us, all of us were programmed there. You're one of the very few, and I know who you are, that have woken up. Just lovingly hold the line. Try not to get angry. Try not to get frustrated. Try to, if you can stay calm with your son and you can just spell out the logic. That's all I do, you know? Between Lori and I, we've got 6 kids. And the reality is no matter what the situation is, no matter what kind of temper tantrum the person has at any age, just breathe, stay calm, and say, I understand your frustration. You know I love you. And I want you to have everything. And I know things and I see things because I was your age. I haven't forgot. I'm not trying to cut you off from joy, from love, from your friends. I want you to have it. Let's work together. Tell me how I can help you have a beautiful life, and I know the things that I need to do to make sure that I protect you. And someday you will thank me, but it's not like someday you'll thank me for the spanking. You thank me for putting you in your room, taking something away, punishing you, taking love away from you. I love you with all my heart, and I am going to work with you, but when there's things that I know that I need to protect you from yourself, I wish I had someone that could have protected me from myself and helped to wake me up to loving and caring for myself. And understand something. The school you are in is run by the government, which is actually, we can go and take a look at, I'll tell you what I'll do tomorrow. I'm going to read the Rockefeller report tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do for my one a day tomorrow. I'll read the Rockefeller report, and then you let your son watch this video. And then he will understand that the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds have Rothschild and Rockefeller Publishing, and they publish all of the books that are in every educational system, all the way through medical school. Okay? And that's the deal. Let's see if we can make your son informed. Let's see if we can show him things. Let's see if we can give him little tidbits and expect to take time with it. And why not? You're going to have to do things like get his friends and do special things and with him if you pulled him out of school. That's what we did when we were homeschooling, is we made sure that we did special things, because this is not a punishment. This is not a punishment. This is us loving you. It'd be a lot easier to let you go to school, okay? Easier on us than you getting upset with us and thinking we don't love you. How much do we love you? Enough that we will allow you to get upset and stay very calm about this, because I would be upset too if I was in your shoes. This is how you talk to your son. Well, I didn't tell you to do that. This is how I talk to my son. This is how I talk to my daughters. I put them all on the couch. Dr. Sage Wolf, when he was 5 years old, and the rest of his siblings on the couch, and I told them that me and your mother have adulterated you. We're called adults and we're adulterated. And the reality is this, we're starting to wake up right now. So when you go out in the world and you're all screwed up and messed up, just know that we help get you there. And I would like to help to get you back if you would allow me, because I love you. Yes. Your mom and I messed you up. That's it. I don't know what else to say. You know what? Yeah. Denise, Dr. Wolf, hopefully we can connect this week. We keep missing each other. We don't give up, though. Well, we don't have to miss each other. All you got to do is call me. I don't know how I'm missing you. Just call my number, 469-861-8884 after the show. Right after the show. And why don't you come on and do a live show? If you want, I'll do a live show with you, Denise. You've been around for a long time, and you're still struggling, love. And I don't want you to struggle. If you want to do a live show with me, I'll do it for you. June, hit heart, breaking, 2C, your daughter suffering high. Had a sister, son. I don't know what this is. I'm buying one of those structure units. It's not a filter, it's a structure unit, okay? And what a structure unit will do, frequency overrides filtering. So even if there was a heavy metal, even if there was a chemical, once you've structured water, doesn't matter from what tap, even if it's not filtered, it won't harm you. Okay, if it comes out like mud, of course. I mean, who's gonna drink mud, right? But the reality is I travel all over the world with a structure unit, and where is it? Do you see the structure unit, Carla? Yeah. Where? Okay, it's right there. We don't sell the gray ones anymore, but this is a structure unit, everyone. And you should always structure everything you drink. If you buy things that are liquids, you want to pour it through here, because you want to protect yourself, because you can't trust these people. You know, you can go to a health food store and buy your favorite something that is organic and beautiful, but as soon as it gets popular, the tobacco industry that is running the food corporations actually buys it and then poisons it for you. Okay. See, it's just one big game called Mousetrap. And the reality is this, look at it as an adventure, okay? You got to love yourself and care for yourself. And you know, whether it comes to health, whether it comes to finances, or health emotionally or physically, all of this can be obtained easy if you unconditionally love and care for yourself, and understand the universe will provide everything that you want as long as you become everything. You know, you go ahead and keep your limited beliefs, keep on beating up on yourself, keep judging yourself, get into sinner syndrome. We'll see how things go for you, okay? All right? We'll see how they go. When the native Aborican will be back to talk. Anyways, if you're interested in becoming an adopted son or daughter of the Taino tribe, so that you can protect yourself, I'll bring that up before the end. I'll talk about that. Thanks for not increasing your prices. Yeah, really. You know what? Everybody's increasing their prices. I don't want to increase my prices, okay? I will do everything to not increase my prices. Understand something. You're going to see some amazing sales because we're shutting down these 3 fulfillment centers, and instead of giving them the money to pick and pack, and they are actually gouging us because we're moving away from them, and we were giving them a lot of money, so they're trying to give us a lot of trouble. So we just calculated what we'd have to spend with them, and we're going to pass all those savings. So we're going to be doing a big crystal sale, a huge crystal sale. You know the crystals that protect you, the EMF crystals? They're going on sale as soon as the infinite iodine's done. And after that, then we're going to do the biggest part of our moving sale, okay? So the crystals are part of it, but we're going to be doing the biggest part of our moving sale. And if you want to watch for it, all right? How will your product, Sherry, how will your products stop the dreaded spike protein? They do. You know, go into PDG, free guide, and look at the V detoxification. It's all in there. It's all in there. Go do research on C60, MCT oil C60, hemp oil C60. Go do research on black diamond and black gold. Go do research, okay, all right, on Thundershrooms Critical Care. Go do research on infinite iodine. Okay, so we've got, just so you know, we've got the only iodine in the world that's pure. You go ahead and do Nascience, Lugos, do any of these iodines. You couldn't take 1.5 ounces. You know, understand something. When somebody has an autoimmune disease, okay, that's a real critical situation, or when they have cancer, okay, just understand something what happens. The actual calcium ion, remember when we talked about the calcium ion products, like the Stealth Glucose and the Merigen? Go see it in my CIT guide in my library. What are the 2 things that actually cause a cancer cell to off itself? Calcium ions and iodine ions. And because ours is pure, and any cancer patient, we found the dosage to be 1.5 ounces per day. And we want to saturate all the cells so that when we bring up the vibration, bring up the oxygen, bring down the toxicity, balance out the pH, the iodine is there, and the calcium ion from the Merigen or the Stealth Glucose is there to actually trigger the autophagy cell death of that cell. Because you need calcium ions and you need iodine ions to actually do that. You ever hear of the P53 gene? Okay, all right. What can we do with an eardrum blown out? Well, first of all, if you had an eardrum blown out, I would be alternating. I'd be putting infinite iodine in alone into my ear, a pool of it, to disinfect it, okay, bring down the inflammation, and it'll disinfect any type of virus. Viruses aren't alive. It just disinfects the poison. It pulls it apart, and it'll bring down the inflammation. Let that soak for 5 minutes. Then empty that out. And then what you can do, if you're on your way to, let's say, go somewhere, then you could put just C60 and a little bit of C60, not C60, the silver bullet gel, which is high microbial silver, and let that go in there and disinfect and heal it. When people go to bed at night, they can put ear restore in. It's an essential oil that will help to heal the ear. Another thing you can put in is the nano bright eyes that go in the eyes. You can also put that in the ear. And if you want, you can call me and let's talk about it, and then I'll give you the whole routine. But did you know that if you go to the Perfect Day Guide, that the ear restore routine is in the Perfect Day Guide. The eye restore is in the Perfect Day Guide. How to do a vaginal infusion, how to do the ultimate coffee, how to do therapeutic vomiting, how to cleanse the colon, oh my God, how to cleanse the liver, it's all there. How to do the ultimate coffee enema. Advanced water fasting, why instead of just water fasting? It's all in there. All the recipes for blender drinks, soups, salads, okay, things of that nature. And it's all free. Yeah, we have a crazy world and I love it, okay? And the understand is I'm not going to suffer for the world. I'm not going to suffer for my family. I'm going to be the hero for my family and I'm going to raise them up. The day that you start suffering for anybody is the day that you feed the suffering program and you bring the vibration down and that causes sickness. End of story. I'm hearing Shilajit and calling it minerals. I don't like Shilajit. It's the lowest form. It's the lowest form on the planet. Humic fulvic is way up there, high vibration. Shilajit is cheap. And I wouldn't sell it. It's just not what I would do. I won't do it. Is the structured water unit the same as the hydrogen water bottle that have seen advertised more often now? No, it's not. And understand something. I'll be coming out with a device, okay? And this device will create more hydrogen. It'll put 10,000 frequencies into your water. And it will create more light therapy, and it's portable, and you can take it anywhere and everywhere, and it'll last for 5 to 7 years. So we tell people, get a structure unit, okay, to structure it, but this unit I'm coming out with, it's for people that really want to jack up their hydrogen, jack up the color therapy, jack up the light therapy, and put 10,000 healing frequencies into your water. The science is there, okay? Denise, I have the structural water unit for 8 months. It's the best. Where I live in Norway, the skies are very polluted. What is your advice about eating the fruit in the fall? I don't think there's any problem with eating the fruit in the fall. I would be looking at frozen organic, and if you can't get organic, make sure that you soak it in structured water and baking soda. That will neutralize everything. Structured water will neutralize everything, and then throw a little bit of baking soda in there. And I would be doing that. If you can't afford organic, do it that way. You'll protect yourself. You really will. Down in Mexico, we don't have to worry about it. It's all organic except what they bring in from the States, like the grapes. You know, I can buy like a liter this big. I'm not making it up, okay, for 70 pesos, which is about $5. And that's $5 for a liter of organic strawberries. I pay a liter of beet and carrot juice, 10% beet, 80% carrot juice. And I always do 1.5 liters to 2 liters a day. I buy 4 liters, and you know what I do? I figured it out. Oh my God, I figured it out. You know, when I first got here, because it's not Canada, Daryl, think in your head, I couldn't figure it out. You know, by the next day, the juices were bad. They would thicken up. And I'm going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Guess what? In one of these containers, you know, you can make the juice you want. I will put it in the freezer. And guess what? 4 days later, I'll pull the jug out. And yeah, there is some frozen here. Listen. There, I'm pushing the iceberg down. The beet carrot iceberg. What? Well, he's got to turn it up. Okay. So anyways, so now, believe it or not, there is a big chunk of beet carrot juice iceberg. But I mean, this is like, when did I get the juice? Can't remember. Not yesterday, the day before. So today they went to get more for me. This is heaven. How many people know that beet and carrot juice is the best? It is the best. It's the powerhouse. And the beet and the carrot for your liver, okay? And then guess what is the best thing for parasites? Beet juice. Beet juice. Well, beets too, but beet juice is better because it's more concentrated, okay? All right. What is your advice about eating the fruit in the fall? I don't see any problem. And, like I said, go frozen, and that's the best way to go. Because in the fall, God knows what kind of fruit you're getting. What can we do for toe fungus, deformed nails, asking for an elderly woman? Guess what? Are you ready for this? Please don't take this wrong. First of all, it's her bowels. Did you know that all the fungus that's in her toe actually came from her bowels? Did you know that it was actually all the antibiotics she took? The antibiotics went in like a bomb in her bowel, destroyed the bad bacteria, and also mutated the good bacteria, and it turned the yeast into fungus. And then the fungus became alive. And guess what? You ready for this? When something becomes a low vibration, you won't have drill bit predators until a low vibration. What is a drill bit predator? Do you ever see a tree dying in the bush, or it fell over and even the roots are sticking out, or you can tell it's dying because it's not getting what it needs? You'll see what? The only time that you'll see holes in the tree because of different bugs eating holes in the tree is because the tree's on its way out. It's sick. Okay, it's low vibrational. Oh, wait a minute here. That's right. Sick people have sick thoughts. They're low vibrational. Did you get this? Sick people have sick thoughts. They're low vibrational. Sick people have sick beliefs, and they don't even know it. You can't be sick unless you believe in sickness. You can't have diseases unless you believe in diseases. You can't have symptoms. Well, I can have a symptom. Right now I've got a bit of a burning right here, okay? But you know why? You ready for this? Last night I was eating pumpkin seeds, and I fell asleep, and I rolled over. And the pumpkin seeds, I think they actually jabbed me there. That's how tired I was, because, we just opened up our retreat center, and we just booked 12 different groups to come down here for a 1 or 2 week retreat to do either the fasting or the juice fasting or the water fasting. Some are coming down to learn non-surgical. We've got 4 couples booked that are coming down to just learn how to do non-surgical on each other so that they never have to limp again. And that's the truth. And they came down to learn how to love and care for themselves and each other and become their own practitioner. You can go to DOD 5-star, that's the number 5star.com if you're interested in looking at this, okay? Now, where was I? Oh yeah, so here we go. The lady with the fungus. I gotta tell you the story. She wouldn't have toe fungus if she didn't have leaky gut. Leaky gut is actually only leaky large intestine. The way you get mainly leaky large intestine is antibiotics, which means if you drink milk, if you eat cheese, if you do yogurt, okay? If you eat factory-raised cows, chicken, pork, if you do farmed fish, okay, they're all loaded with antibiotics. So you're getting your antibiotics every day. Antibiotics go in, and what they do is they turn the yeast into fungus. They become drill bit predators. And guess what? Because antibiotics have a vibration below 0. So guess what? Essential oils, their vibration's way up here. So vegetables, let's say the vibration's here. Vegetable juicing is up here. Essential oils are up here. Do you get it? Okay. So antibiotics are below 0. Which means they do what? They turn on the death vibe. Ooh, isn't that cool? What does that mean, Daryl? Well, they actually turn the yeast into fungus. The fungus starts drilling holes through your large intestine. Now you're pooping in your pelvis like crazy. Now the fungus, the doctor says you have candida. You have systemic candidiasis throughout your body. That just means that you actually drilled holes in your large intestine. The fungus is breeding like crazy because in somebody older, like what was the age? An older woman, elderly. Guess what? They're rotting in their pelvis. Everybody's rotting. I mean, come on. Young children are rotting away. Okay, the only time a kid has a fever is a bowel problem. The only time they have diarrhea, the only time they have stomach pain, the only time they don't want to feel like eating, okay, they can't focus. I mean, seriously, it's all about the large intestine. It is the holy grail. It's 85% of the immune system because bacteria is everything. Okay, so now you've blown it up with the antibiotics, with the foods you eat, and with the drugs you take. Okay, because you shouldn't take antibiotics unless you're in a life-threatening situation, because they damn well cause one. And the reality is that the fungus in her toe is just showing how much fungus is in her body. And understand something, you don't have to believe me, but everybody that has that, if they live long enough, they do have cancer. They will have cancer, because cancer is a terrible fungal problem. It's also a parasite problem. It's also a bacterial problem, because the whole parasite party comes when you're low vibrational. You get it? And this woman could be very lovely, very sweet, very kind, wanting to help everyone. But if she doesn't turn that swamp back into a beautiful circulating river, okay, then she's going to putrefy and rot out. So if she's got fungus, you want to go after the bowel with daily cleansing tea, black gold. Okay? You also, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to get her on the most pure diet you can. Get her off the sugars. Get off her the flours. Okay? You need to clean her up. The toe fungus, it doesn't leave for a long time. And then the toenails got to grow out, and dang it, the toenails don't grow out in an elderly person really fast. I mean, you can put different types of oils on there, like super strength oregano, you can put that on, or tea tree oil on the toe. It might bring down some of the local fungus, but you only have toe fungus because you have systemic fungus throughout your body and even in your brain. If you got it in your toe, you got it in your brain. Okay, all right. So the reality is called a high vibrational diet, and it really is. And we've talked about a lot of the products, like Thunder Shrooms would really help her. C60 would really help her. Daily cleansing tea, black gold, crucial. If you could get her to do the ultimate coffee enema and purge her liver, because guess what? It's like the oil change, filter change, and nobody ever does it. And you can't purify your liver properly unless you're going to do an ultimate coffee enema. And if you've got a leaky gut, which means that when you go to purge the liver and all the toxins come into the large intestine and you've got pinholes, the chemicals will go back into the bloodstream if you don't use black gold or tummy love when you do the ultimate coffee enema to suck it all up and lock it down so that you don't put the poisons back into your body. All of this is in the guide. I don't know what I can, talk till the cows come home, and I will. I'll keep going. It was difficult at first, this is Sarah, for not depending on the system. But once I became responsible for my and my family's health, it is worth it. Yeah, they made you scared. They made you feel stupid. And they made you feel like you don't got this, but you got this. You got this, Sarah. Okay? Don't rely on the system. Do your own health care. Everyone will be going there, however, they have other problems. I don't know what that means. That is awesome. Thank you, whatever that means. I grow my own fruit, all organic, and buy only the rest of the fruit and veggies organic. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Marie, and God bless. What is the cost for a couple's retreat, 1 week retreat? Can you go to DOD5star.com and take a look at it? And just know that if you don't want to come to Mexico, to Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, I'll show you how beautiful the retreat is. And when you see how we're going to treat you, you've never been treated like this. You know what? This is going to be, okay, what a healing, what a holiday. And that's what it should be. What a healing, what a holiday. No healing crisis, just loving it. I know how to do it. And that's what you deserve. And then give me a call. And my phone number, let me see if I can put that up now, because that's been up long enough. It's not on here. My contact, maybe it's at, oh, there it is. Okay. So my phone number is 469-861-8884. I'll be taking calls as soon as I finish here. You can call 800. You can call on WhatsApp or USA Direct, or you can call on the 800 toll-free anywhere around the world. The extension is number 5. You can also get me on FaceTime if you want. Okay, I'm okay with that. All right. Can you speak about frequency of clothing? Well, You should never win. I can't get into it deeply. My brother's really good at it. I'll have my brother come on and we'll do a show on it. Okay, Dr. Marcel Wolf. And just know this, that linen is very high, is the highest frequency along with wool, but you can't wear linen and wool or they'll neutralize each other and you get zero. Okay, all right? And I try to make my clothes as natural as possible, but all my clothes aren't natural, but I am. You know what, let me tell you something. Before the clothes, it's your personality. Okay? Before the food, it's your personality. Okay? Before the nutraceuticals, it's your personality. Your personality is your reality. Are you a happy person? Did you ever notice that happy people are happy? Did you ever notice that depressed people are depressed and they're not really depressed? They've just been telling horror stories to themselves until they burnt their brain out, because the brain's only a computer. It's only a chemist and a computer. That's all it is. It dumps hormones and chemicals and it stores belief systems. That's all I believe it does. And you can think whatever you want. Yes, the brain helps to create everything that you have, so you better get in there and you better rewrite the story. Okay? All right? Total hair loss on entire body, head, eyebrows, eyelashes, everywhere. Well, just know this, that's, you know, I'm losing my hair. Okay, talk about stress. Okay, that's stress. That's total stress. That person has blown out their brain and their liver. Okay, that's it. So you can call me on that, Kim, if you'd like, please. Thank you. What's happening with my computer? It's not moving. Do you want to check this for me, Carla? You know me. I'm not good at this stuff. What do you think? We got trouble in River City? This is all your fault. I can't get to the questions. What do we do? Maybe the other ones are all nasty.
I don't know.
What do you think? Huh? Are the other ones all nasty? Oh, there you go. You did something. What'd you do? Okay, here. Okay, can you explain? Okay, wait. Where's the button up and down? No, that's not working. Oh, wait, that is.
I think that's all.
Okay, but I need to go back. Okay. Okay, let me keep going. How do I get back up? Oh, there we go. Okay, got it. I'm only going to answer a couple more, and then I gotta jump off. Okay, everyone. But I'll come back. I'll come back tomorrow. Maybe I'll just, you know, I'll try to come back any day I can around the same time and do a live. Just know that I love you, but I want you to love you totally. I want you to let yourself off the hook totally. I love you. Doesn't matter, you don't have to like me, care for me. I love you anyway. Okay? All right? Don't let them get you hating yourself or others. Okay? We have to stop now. Sarah, can you explain the role of cholesterol, especially for women? I was told it is necessary to make hormones. How do I get cholesterol? Just eggs enough? Your body makes cholesterol. Don't worry about it. Your body will make all the cholesterol that you need if you, okay, are nutritionally balanced. Now, how many people know that minerals are the most important thing first? Then, what is the electrical charge that the mineral has? Because, you know, there are many different types of people. There are many different types of cars. There's many, you know, you can get 100 different magnesiums. So trace minerals, I would like someone to challenge me, because I know that I have the highest electrical charge of trace minerals on the planet. It's called Beyond Ormus Minerals. You start taking them, you'll feel the buzz in your brain, you'll feel it in your body. Do 40 drops a day, that's cost you hardly nothing. Do 80 drops a day, costs you not hardly anything. It's not expensive, that's double, but you do 80 drops, you'll feel the buzz in your brain, because it's electrolytes. It's electrolytes. It's electricity. Okay, all right? The cholesterol, most people are complaining they make too much cholesterol. And understand something. you will always make too much cholesterol when you're acidic and you're inflamed and you're toxic. Does anybody know why you make more cholesterol than you need? Because you're actually getting cracks in your arteries. You're pulling the minerals out of the arterial walls, and you're actually causing, because the arteries are made out of tissue, right? And you're actually pulling the minerals out, and you're creating little bits of scar tissue. And what happens is when you get little cracks in your arteries, your body will automatically make more cholesterol than it needs, so you have high cholesterol. So go ahead and take your cholesterol pills to bring it down, and you are gonna just so suffer for this. They fooled you real good. Now, the cholesterol is like candle wax to goop the crack. Does anybody know why? Because if you're in your blood stream, you cannot become, your pH can hardly drop. If it drops even a little bit, you go into a coma. If it drops more, you die. That's it, you leave your body. Well, you don't die, your body dies. I gotta correct myself with this, you know that? You don't die, you never die, you're immortal. Your body dies, okay? So now, here's the deal. When you get a crack in the arteries, remember something, you're pulling mainly calcium to buffer and keep the pH balanced, because it's critical. We just talked about that. So instead of getting a little piece of calcium that's like glass, did you ever go to the coral reef? Or did you ever step on coral? It'll cut you, okay? It could leave a little piece in there. The coral shards, calcium's calcium. When the calcium comes into the bloodstream, if it gets too big and it gets caught in that little crack, it can actually pierce and cause what? It can cause a blood clot. How many people know that most heart attacks and strokes are caused because of that? Because it's actually a blood clot that causes most heart attacks and strokes. Thank you very much, Daryl. But you can reverse heart disease. You can do that with a Perfect Day diet and Cardio Med Bed. And if you don't believe me, we'll take people that have 92% blockage, put them on a Cardio Med Bed for 35 hours. We'll do some non-surgical. We'll get them on a Perfect Day diet. After 35 hours, they've got a new set of arteries. You heard what I just said. Nobody's coming after me for this because it's true, okay? The human body's amazing. If you had perfect circulation, you have perfect health. The Cardio Med Bed, go to bhnpowerpack.com or come on tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we'll have the Power Pack show. And you're going to find out what a Cardio Med Bed is and what a Cellsonic is. And you'll find these two things together are the Power Packs of healing, okay? Yeah. How do I get cholesterol? Is just eggs enough? Well, first of all, people used to go, well, don't eat too many eggs, you'll get too much cholesterol. And that was never the problem. Your body doesn't utilize that cholesterol. It utilizes it very little. You're never ever going to have a cholesterol problem from eating eggs. The reality is everything that the majority of the population knows, you should throw it in the garbage right now and consider yourself lucky, okay? Leonard, I'm drinking some structured water and Ormus minerals right now. I live on it. That's all I can tell you. Electrolytes, that's what it's about. Hello, Dr. Wolf. I started the detox tea, black gold, iodine last week. I have a very bumpy, bright red rash on the middle of my back and right side of breast. I feel it's toxins just leaving my body. Yes, make sure your bowels are moving better. If you could do the ultimate coffee enema and also clap the area, okay, because there's a block there. That's why. And understand, things are coming to the surface. And if you don't know about clapping, everybody, it's the most amazing, really truthful diagnosis you can do, okay? So clapping, this is our clapper. You can buy it at store.docofdetox.com. And you should go and watch my clapping videos. Okay, 1 second. So I was just reaching to get a clapper. I'm still live on air, and I pocket dialed you, okay? But you weren't in my pocket, okay? Okay. So anyways, you get a clapper and go watch my clapping videos in the do-it-yourself guide in my library, and then why don't you just rock your world? Right from a fibroid to arthritis, okay, to stiffness, to swelling, to lumps, to bumps, okay, to actually helping to heal your heart, your lungs. I'm not kidding. Go check it out, Okay, what I'll do in the next few days, I'll do a 1 a day on clapping, and I'll just talk about the body briefly, and then try to send everybody to the clapping videos that I have in my do-it-yourself guide in the library. Okay, all right. Let me see here. I feel it's toxins just leaving my body. You're right. I almost feel like a cold or something is happening. Yeah. So if you have curcumin cayenne 5000 and you take 1 to 2 of those every other hour, you won't get that cold or flu. Also, just know that if you are taking my black diamond, okay, you would not get a cold, because humic fulvic will shut that down, because colds and flus are actually based on heavy metals, chemicals, GMOs, man-made materials. That's what they're from. That's why there's so many different ones coming all the time. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? And viruses can't jump 1 inch, less 6 feet. Okay? And also, if you go look them up in the dictionary, you'd find out that they're not alive. It's a poison. That's all it is. Okay. Should root canal be removed? I would remove it, yes. I don't want another missing tooth. Well, then get a post and get an implant in. And if you have bone problem, then go on Dentagen and Merigen for 6 weeks to 3 months, and you'll have the jaw structure of a totally healthy person. And then you can actually do this. Get a titanium post put in and a ceramic tooth, and you're off to the races. All root canals. If you were to, why don't you talk to, do this, do something for me. Talk to every woman that you know that has breast inflammation, stage 3 or 4, they call it cancer, and then you will find that no less than 50% of those women have a root canal on the same side as the breast situation. There's been enough studies, okay? And it's heart disease it causes. It's so many things. Wherever your weak link is, you know, because you're just dripping poisons all the time. There's no such thing as a healthy root canal. And, wait now. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more, but no more, guys, okay? Should root canal be, oh, no, only 1 more. There you go. My mom passed away from cancer. She said the other word, but I said passed away, okay? We're not going to use the word D-I-E-D, because your mother didn't die. They want you to get into it, right? Divorce, death, right? Die, okay? Disease, okay? Yeah, they love it when we do this, okay? We are immortal, and we have only been loved by the creator of everything. Thank you very much, but I'm not going to believe your story no matter how old it is, or how far it dates back, or who walked the mountain. Thank you. My mom died of cancer, and yes, she had a root canal. Okay, she passed away. Okay, and your mother's spirit is still rocking the universe. Okay, read The Root Canal Cover-Up by George Menning. And Menning is spelled M-E-N-I-N-G. Thank you, Francine. And thank you for joining me today, everyone. My Infinite Iodine sale is still on. Buy 1, get 30% off. Buy 2, get 40. Buy 3 or more, get 50% off. You've never seen a sale like this on Infinite Iodine. And that's because, like I said, we're moving, okay? And you know what? You need to get moving too. You know what that means? You need to only expand consciously. You need to bring your vibration up. You need to bring more light and love and dance and laughter into your life. You need to know how to be fun to be with. You need to know that we are not going to plan to have fun this Friday. We're going to have fun right now. We're going to stay in the present moment. We're going to own it. We are not going to react and attack ourselves or anyone else. And the government can take a hike. And so can everyone else that's trying to do fear-mongering. Okay, we are going to love every moment that we're here. Have a beautiful day, everyone. God bless. 3, 2, 1. We're more powerful when we come together.